And moving on, US President Donald Trump's maximum pressure campaign against Iran has sparked concerns in India. Why? Because it could harm New Delhi's strategic interests. Here's how. Now, Trump's latest order has raised the possibility of the sanctions waiver for the Chabahar port being revoked. The US President's memo to the Secretary of State said that Washington shall modify or rescind sanctions waivers, particularly those that provide Iran any degree of economic or financial relief, including those related to Iran's Chabahar port project. The US earlier held that modernization of the Chabahar port will be exempt from sanctions because it served as an important gateway for India to send humanitarian aid to Afghanistan, circumventing Pakistan. In 2018, Trump had given a narrow waiver to India to develop the Iranian port. However, the new order by Trump in his second term would possibly not go well with India. Chabahar is a deep water port in the Sistan-Baluchestan province of Iran. It is the closest Iranian port to India and is in the open sea, so it provides easy and secure access for large cargo ships. In May last year, India and Iran signed a 10-year agreement to further develop the Chabahar port as a regional connectivity hub, linking India to Afghanistan, Central Asia, and Europe. India announced an investment of $120 million to equip the port. New Delhi also offered a credit of $250 million to Iran for infrastructure development. As per the agreement, India would also equip and operate the port for the next 10 years. Now, the port is key for India to strengthen its influence in Central Asia, and Trump's new order could impact this and India's strategic access to Afghanistan and Central Asia. The new set of sanctions could jeopardize India's long-term investments at the port. It could also affect India's ongoing development work at Chabahar and could restrict its ability to continue operations without facing consequences from the US. Now, India's trade with Iran has fallen in recent years, largely due to US sanctions. In 2018 to 2019, India imported around $13 billion worth of goods from Iran, with around $12 billion of that being oil. However, since 2019 to 2020, India's imports from Iran have dropped to less than $1 billion annually. Between April and October of 2024, India's imports from Iran stood at $216 million. Now, given the importance of Chabahar port to India, the issue is expected to be a significant topic of discussion when India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets with Donald Trump in Washington next week. The two leaders are expected to hold a meeting on the 13th of February. Donald Trump's maximum pressure approach against Iran, pressurizing it economically and diplomatically, could clash with India's strategic interests and a stable and functioning Chabahar port.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.
We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
We were actually.
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote efforts. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.